In today's episode of The Keys Within Time, we will be enjoying a scenic walk while discussing a very serious topic. In today's video, I will be touching on the incident with the Dalai Lama and the incident that since went viral of him kissing a little boy on his mouth and also asking the little boy to suck his tongue. So, in this CNN article, it states that he apologized after the video of him asking the child to suck his tongue sparks outcry. So it goes on to say he apologized and his office made a statement apologizing to the boy and his family and his friends across the world for the harm his words may have created. And he added that he's regretful about the incident. And so it says, His Holiness often teases people he meets in innocent and playful ways, even in public before cameras. Right? So now that's pretty much excusing the behavior under the guise that it's supposed to be playful, right? And then this says, his apology comes after a video of the exchange, which took place during the event in the hillside in February. So this is an old video. So, now it's gone viral. Now he's offering apologies. And so it goes on to say he asked the little boy, "Can you give me a hug?" And then he invites the little boy to kiss him on the cheek. And then he actually pulls the little boy's chin and it kisses him on the mouth. And then seconds later, he asks the little boy to suck his tongue and pokes his tongue out. And so in this incident, it states that the child rights group local to there condemns any form of child abuse. And it says it adds that some news refer to the Tibetan culture about showing tongue, but this video is certainly not about any cultural expression, right? And then it just goes on, to express that he's the oldest living Buddhist figure, and pretty much, what was his claim to fame. So now that you have the background and context of this message, the role of parents is a very serious job. It comes with calculating possible outcomes to not put your child in certain positions, being a role model for that child, guiding and leading that child in a way that will allow them to be successful and be a good person, teaching that child about morals, about the Most High, and also protecting that child against predatory people. And so a lot of times people don't realize the weight that a parent has to carry until years into becoming a parent, because bringing a child in this earth is so easy because you just have to engage in sex to create a child. But often what comes with being a parent isn't thought well out prior to actually having a child on the way into the world. So for me, I'm not yet a parent, and it is by design because I wanted to be in the best mental, physical, and spiritual space to foster a child in this world and not ruin yet another person or create a menace or be neglectful. Like, I understand how important it is to be chosen to guide and lead a child in the right way, that, I responsibly take measures to make sure that if I know I'm not in the best space, I know I have no business creating a child, right? So in this instance with the Dalai Lama, he's revered as a spiritual leader. He is the face of Buddhism. And so you have people that feel like he's a spiritual leader. A spiritual leader is supposed to have high morals, and that should be someone that I can trust my child with. But the thing is, you really can't trust your child with anybody, because you think about it, a lot of these, it's like, it goes back to the thing with the Catholic religion. These spiritual leaders are people that have renown, that have denounced having engagement with women and having any sex. So now they are exposed to your children, and they're still men, and they have the urges, they still have the sexual nature in them. And so now you expose your child to them, and at first everything may be fine, and then they may recognize, hey, this parent hasn't trusted me, or these loads of parents haven't trusted me. So now I'm gonna see how far I can get. And it's just little by little, and then you have incidents like this, which is the precursor of children being molested and being violated, all because their parents entrusted someone who should and knows better, and they chose to be manipulative and take a child's innocence. So, like, parenthood to me, it scares me a bit, because I will not ever want to bring a child into this world that I couldn't 100% protect. And that doesn't mean I'm not realistic and know that things happen, but I'm not going to ever put my child in a predicament that they cannot fend themselves off. Allowing people to be around your children, leaving your children with anybody because you still want to do stuff and you want to live a certain lifestyle is so dangerous, because you get comfortable with thinking that people are good and they'll do right by your children. But the thing is, nobody is going to treat your child like you do. Hell, they even have parents violating their own kids. So as parents, and even people like me who don't yet have children, I'm part of a village to nieces and nephews where I have some influence on things that shape them. I'm the auntie, I'm not gonna let you get away with anything. And I'll also be a sounding board. I'll be the eyes that my parents and my siblings may not have, because they're in parent mode. So I can see stuff from a non-parent mode, So it just irritates me when things like this happen to children. Children are so innocent. Even if they can decipher, hey, this is wrong, if they feel like mom and dad put me in the company of this person, or even if they feel something wrong, they end up getting threatened that the person would kill everybody. You know, that's a very unfair position to put a child in, even if you have that child well equipped. You know, and so it just irritates me when people choose to neglect and fumble the ball on children and rearing them, even in the park and stuff like that, when they're walking and their kid is feet in front of them, or their kid is feet behind them. They're not paying attention to their kid. They're not watchful of what their kid is doing. Their kid bumping into people. And you're apologetic, but you know, you need to be on your child 100%, because you have to set the standard of, I am the provider, the protector. Nothing will not happen to my child if I make sure I take every measure that I can to not put them to, by my own doing, put them in a situation that allows them to be vulnerable and leave them. You know, with the whole Dalai Lama thing, at the end of the day, he is still a man. He's 87. He's still a man. I don't know if he's ever had sex with a woman. I don't know when he became a Buddhist. But those high spiritual leaders and people in those high spiritual positions where you're supposed to look at them as they do no wrong, they follow the religion to the T, they be the ones doing wicked stuff to kids. And as parents, everybody's a suspect until they not, kind of attitude, you know. So that was just something that was a little bothersome to me, because I watch every day as people fumble in parenting, like they're neglectful. And I understand people have a lot on their plate, because you have to rear a child, you have to still take care of yourself. I understand that, but as a parent, your duty is to not neglect that child and just let them do something because maybe you want a break, or you think it's okay because of the image that has been put out about a person, you know. So coming from a TT who love her babies, and I just hate when children are violated and people take advantage of children, and even take advantage of parents. I guess for the lack of better words, parents laid backness, parents not really, you know, they, like the Dalai Lama, I know he knows that, hey, these people don't trust me because I'm the face of Buddhism. I'm a renowned Buddhist, and that's supposed to be such a peaceful practice where you're at one with yourself and you're centering yourself. And hey, I will be the person least likely to do anything crazy, even if it's a custom. Why would it be a custom anything near to anything that has any wicked connotations? And even like the local children's rights group, they're like, yeah, it's practice for them to stick their tongue out, but not to ask a child to suck their tongue. Like, it's ridiculous. And you know, if anything can be taken from this, I'm not criticizing parents. I understand parenthood is a very important, delicate, stressful job, because you're always worrying about your kids and worrying about, did I make the best decision for this kid? You know, I'm just speaking from being frustrated with the kid violators. And the kid violators gotta be punished, because that's not righteous. I don't care what religion you're in, what walk of life you're in. It's not righteous to violate children and prey on children. It never is, and it never will. Even when there's instance of elite people doing wicked things to underage boys, and there being a whole society of men wanting to sleep with little boys, even though some of the world accepts that, is still not right. And as parents, and like as a person like me who's a part of a village, and I'm not yet a biological parent, we all have a duty to protect the babies at all costs, and let them know that we're protecting them and we have their best interests in heart. So whenever anything happens, they are more inclined to say, hey, and be communicative and be like, hey, I don't feel comfortable, this feels weird, and give them that dialogue to be able to express when something isn't right, and even not forcing them to do things, because that kind of impedes this kind of behavior. When you tell a child you don't have no wants, you do what I say, or you force them to kiss relatives or hug relatives, or you even force them to be affectionate or hug you and things like that. It's innocent, but it just opens up that potential that the child will be lax and feel like they have to do that with strangers or even people that makes them uncomfortable. So, our job is to raise strong, beautiful babies and instill them with the tools to navigate this crazy world, and also give them autonomy over their mind, their thoughts, and their feelings, without them feeling like they would get in trouble for it. So that's my spiel on it. And I love having conversations like this and expressing my thoughts about it, because like I said, I'm not condemning any parents. I'm just saying parents and people like me, a part of the village, have a very valuable job in making sure that that child is best equipped as possible, that we can control, because we're not trying to mess up no more people, children, because the cycle just continues and it's hard to break. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, or if you would like to email me to have a further discussion. This is all healthy discussion, no condemning, just my thoughts and feelings about this incident. So enjoy this makeshift waterfall and enjoy the rest of your day.